Chris was going to jump out the window to escape. Strangely, he jumped back into the room. The lights in the room started flickering. A dark figure stood behind Chris. The figure takes off her mask and reveals her beautiful face. She told Chris her name was Anna and that she was a witch. Anna pointed to the clothes in the closet and said they were all left behind by useless children. Anna the witch pinched Chris and asked him what he was good at. Chris looked at his notebook and said, "I could tell scary stories." Anna was interested in Chris' specialty. Anna looked at Chris' notebook and told him, "You must tell me a scary story every day." Chris was so scared that he agreed to Anna's offer. Chris saw a cat in his room. The cat suddenly jumped on Chris and bit him. Chris grabbed the fur and threw it in the corner. The cat suddenly disappeared before his eyes. A dark figure at the door scared Chris to the ground. The shadow took off its eyes and turned out to be a girl. The girl told him her name was Armin and that she had been trapped here for a long time. Armin took Chris to a library. Chris was shocked to see the huge library. Armin told Chris that you have to write horror stories here every day. Chris hid behind a door and waited for a chance to escape, waiting for Anna to pass by. Chris quickly ran towards the door. Just as Chris was about to go out, the door turned into a wall. Anna sprayed blue perfume on her face before listening to Chris' story. The room was shaking and the lights were flickering. Anna told Chris to tell the horror story. As Chris began to tell the story, the room returned to normal. Anna told Chris that your horror story can't have a perfect ending. Chris was writing a story in the library and found someone else's notes in a book. Every night Chris told Anna a scary story. One day Chris found another man's notes in a book. A man's notes before he ran away made Chris think there was a way to escape. Yamin took Chris to Anna's garden. Armin picked an egg from a tree and gave it to Chris. Chris put the egg on the ground and crushed it. Armin told him that it was a spider. We have to get rid of them beforehand. Armin slipped and an egg fell. A tentacle came out of the egg. A horrible ripped spider emerged from its shell. The spider quickly climbed up the tree and got rid of all the eggs. Chris and Armin stomped all the eggs on the ground. The ripping spider bit through the wires. The spider climbed onto Armin's glasses. The spider's antennae almost hit Armin's eye. The cat was trapped on the web. The spider ran towards the web. Chris killed the spider with a shovel. Chris saved the cat. A tentacle protruded from one of the eggs. Anna choked Chris and Armin in the air. Anna tried to kill Armin. Chris took the blame and saved Armin. Armin told Chris that we had to get out of here as soon as possible. In a book in the library, Chris found the recipe for a sleeping potion. In the garden, Chris and Armin were making a sleeping potion. A colorless and tasteless sleeping potion was prepared. The sleeping potion turns green when lemonade is added to it, disrupting their plans. While Chris was trying to figure out what to do, he realized that the potion had disappeared. Chris opened a blank page in his notebook and started to tell a story. Anna sprayed herself with blue perfume. Anna discovered Chris' secret. The witch Anna cornered Chris and Armin and tried to kill them. Anna suddenly fell asleep on the floor. The cat stole the potion and put it in Anna's perfume. With the stolen key, she opened the door to the magical apartment. A unicorn appeared in front of them in the forest. The chasing unicorn suddenly turned around and ran away. A candy house appeared in front of them. Chris and Armin entered the mysterious candy house. After eating the candy, Armin's eyes turned into candies. Chris also enjoyed the candy. The violent shaking of the candy house woke up Chris. Chris went down the stairs to the basement of the candy house. In a blue cabinet in the center of the basement, there was a man lying down. Anna appeared in front of him. Armin and the cat were locked up. This is where Anna extracted the blue perfume. Anna told them that she was captured here 20 years ago. She used a sleeping potion she made to knock out the witch. The blue potion she extracted from the witch gave him magical powers. Telling scary stories without Anna's every day puts the witch to sleep. It's time for another story. The witch in the blue cabinet began to wake up. Anna told Chris to tell the story or we'd all be doomed. When she heard Chris' story, the witch in the blue cupboard became quiet. Chris' story had a perfect ending. This ending woke up the witch in the blue cupboard. Anna started to release her mimicry to control the witch. Chris rescued Armin and the cat. The witch with her face covered in candy awoke. Chris and Armin escaped from the candy house. Anna was killed by the witch. Armin sprayed himself with blue perfume. Armin unleashed his magic and opened a big hole in the wall. The witch trapped Chris and Armin in the boiler room. The cat jumped on the witch's head and saved Armin and Chris. Chris opened an empty notebook and told a story. Chris attracted the witch to the boiler. The notebook thrown into the boiler attracted the witch's attention. Chris and Armin pushed the witch into the boiler. They finally escaped from the magical apartment.